The testimony of Lord Peter Hain put foreign governments, global companies in state capture spotlight. He named a string of international enablers that continued to provide facilities to the Guptas and their companies, even after an abundance of red flags had gone up around them. Let's look at this State Capture Commission of Inquiry's report and more. The anti-apartheid activist Lord Peter Hain joins us now. Thank you so much for your time. So let's talk about your reaction to the State Capture Commission's report.
Well, I'm very encouraged by it. It's clear, it's cogent, and it's hard-hitting. For example, in spotlighting Bain & Co. for their complicity in dismembering and dismantling the South African Revenue Service, SARS, under former President Zuma and his placement, Tommy Moyane, to ensure that a once world-beating tax revenue collecting agency was reduced to a shadow of its former self. And that was a deliberate ploy. And the Zondo Commission has clearly spelt it out. And I think most disturbingly, and it's why I'm taking action in the UK on the matter, most disturbingly, has actually also said that the global corporate, Bain & Co., was right up to its neck, earning fat fees, I think 170 million rand in fees to help pervert SARS, and that it must be investigated for this unlawful action and prosecuted.
And in South Africa, when you read the State Capture Commission of Inquiry's report, it talks about how important it's going to be going forward for the SAPS as well as the NPA to look at some of the contracts, especially with other government entities. There's still a concern, though, when you look at the report of the Nugent Commission into SARS and also looking at the State Capture Commission's report. It's clear that Bain & Company still has not played open cards.
Absolutely. They've been devious. They've earned fat fees, not just from SARS, but perhaps another 100 million sterling, quite possibly. Sterling. So maybe much, much more in rand from other state-owned enterprises. And this is part of a murky picture that I've tried to expose in the British Parliament as a member of the House of Lords, in saying that the state capture story, which looted South African taxpayers so terribly, has also been done with the support and active complicity of global corporations like Bain & Company, KPMG, the banks like HSBC and Standard Chartered and Bank of Baroda, all of which allowed the money to flow out through their financial pipelines to Dubai and Hong Kong and other parts of the world. And that was South African taxpayers' money, looted, that should have been spent on hospitals and schools and new jobs and similar public goods instead of for private criminal gain.
At some point, you lambasted the UK's inaction when it comes to acting against companies, British companies that were linked to the Guptas. Has anything changed?
Very little has changed. The Guptas themselves have been put on the UK sanctions list along with the United States sanctions list, which I welcome. But today I've written to Boris Johnson, the British Prime Minister, urging him to ensure that all public contracts for Bain & Company here in the UK are immediately suspended, because this is a damning indictment from the State Capture Commission, from the Zondo Commission, against this global multinational company. They stand indicted for criminal complicity, and the Zondo Commission says should be prosecuted. So I'm saying to Boris Johnson today in a letter that he must ensure that no government work, no public sector work in the United Kingdom goes to this company until it goes through all the legal proceedings that will follow in South Africa, until it starts operating in a proper professional way, instead of abusing its position and consorting with criminals in this absolutely shameful way.
One of the whistleblowers, Athol Williams, looking at the SARS matter, is still not back in the country. He is still in hiding, fearing for his life as a whistleblower. And looking at the commission, you can tell that the commission's chair really took his evidence seriously and commending him for his bravery. I wonder, how should South Africa treat whistleblowers like him and many others that continue to say they're still not protected? In fact, they put in the firing line.
Well, Athol Williams is a hero, or should be, in South Africa. He stands on the shoulders of giants like Nelson Mandela and Archbishop Desmond Tutu and Oliver Tambo. He has stood up with integrity. He's suffered grievously, forced to leave the country that he loves. And this is a country with a great constitution that should uphold the rights of citizens, including whistleblowers. Indeed, President Cyril Ramaphosa has said that whistleblowers should be protected, but Athol Williams has had no protection. He's been so unsafe that he's feared for his life and has come to the United Kingdom. Now, he should come back. He should be allowed to come back to South Africa. The president and everybody else, the National Prosecuting Authority, should give him proper support and protection and treat him as the hero, the brave, courageous South African citizen that he is, not as some kind of almost outcast, as he's been forced to be. I think the Commission's report today vindicates everything that Athol Williams said in his evidence to them, and Bain and Company are exposed for lying and deceit and taking fat fees and allowing criminals to dismantle and destabilize a once world-beating South African tax collecting agency, which is another one of the terrible legacies of former President Zuma's corrupt and shameful rule.
All right, thank you so much for your time. We do
appreciate
it. That was anti-apartheid activist Lord Peter Hain.